because I was shooting with Emily. She said, she pulled me aside, she says, "Are you scared?" And I went, "I'm really scared." Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
Thank you so much for having me. It's really nice talking to you.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great meeting you.
Thank you. It's good to meet you too.
And congratulations on the
Thank you
film.
very much.
So first of all, this movie is filmed in a very interesting way, right? But the way that Benny films your body is almost like he's doing a map of what Mark is feeling. You know, like both strength and pain, everything we can see in his body. So I wanted to ask you, how I'm sorry, I cracked a little bit.
I'm right there
sorry.
with you. I'm with you. I got you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So what did you learn during this movie about your own strength? But I don't mean your strength like physically, but that strength that keeps you standing even when everything else gives out.
Oh, that's good. Well, I would say what I learned a few things about this movie is that with Mark Kerr, here's a guy who at one time he was the greatest fighter, MMA fighter on the planet. Invincible, seemingly invincible, but one of the biggest takeaways for us making the movie, myself, Benny Safdie, our director, Emily Blunt, was you just never know what people are going through. Because even though you look at Mark Kerr and you look at his girlfriend Dawn and they're this beautiful couple, he's powerful, she's beautiful, they're just this power couple, and he's on top of the world. They're on top of the world. And you think, oh, they have no problems, they're great. But really, reality behind closed doors, they were battling their own demons and addictions, drugs, and just everything that was happening in that relationship. And you realize you gotta have empathy for people because you just never know what people are going through. What I learned about myself is listen to the voice that you have, like behind your rib cage. Like we all have that kind of voice that tells us, for me, it was, I was comfortable and I didn't want to be comfortable anymore. And what I mean by that is just in 2019, I started looking around at my career I was very blessed to have, but I wanted more. And I realized, oh, I'm comfortable. I don't like being comfortable. And so I took this documentary, The Smashing Machine, to Benny Safdie in 2019 after I watched Uncut Gems and loved it. We bonded, and a couple of years later, 4 years later, we make the movie.
So first of all, I think that many people might see The Rock as this like indestructible figure, but you clearly saw the other side of him.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, what was it about him, like his energy, the moments he had in silence, or something that made you think like he's perfect for this film?
Well, it was in the conversations that I had with him, just the way he asked questions and the way he listens to the questions. I could just tell that there was somebody who really was trying to understand something larger, you know? And right then and there, I knew that, like, okay, we're gonna be able to do something really great together, because that's what I'm after. You know, it's like, and again, like, I really just, once you get to know somebody, you want the best for them. And so I really wanted him to explore this other side of him, because then when you look at the parts when he is indestructible and the strongest man that you want to depend on, you realize that inside there's something else there. And it actually deepens your love and affection for him, because now he's exposing another part of his personality, you know, which I think is really beautiful.
And you know, there's a scene that's really beautiful in the movie when your character approaches like the fans, the audience. But he doesn't do this like in a way of a champion, you know, like I'm here to sign stuff, you know, but he does it because he knows how much they matter to his career and to his life. So I think you have shared that same energy with the people who follows you and watches your movies. So if you were able to say something to these people about the way they have shaped your own life, what would you say to them?
Well, thank you, number one. But there's not enough language that I don't have, not in my brain capacity to show my gratitude and to speak it, because I can say thank you so much, I'm so grateful. I could use all these words, but they're just not enough. So that's why when I see fans, you know, and it's my way, it's my love language is to show them and to thank them. And I love that you brought that up about the movie. No one's brought that part up because he's backstage and they got the jitters. These fighters, they all have jitters because they're getting ready to fight and compete. And he says, hey, I want to show you something. Come outside with me. And he shows them these fans. And you're right, the way Mark approaches the fans, not like, hey, here I am. He's like, hey, it's a beautiful moment.
Very tender.
Very tender.
It's really interesting how you mentioned that he asks the right questions. So was there like any particular question that really surprised that he asked you?
Just in one scene, he was like, it's when we're following him into the elevator. He's like, so you're not going to get a shot from the front to see my face? I said, no, we're just going to stay on your back. And he goes, really? I go, yeah. And he goes, okay. And so he internalizes that. And then in the scene, when I said, when you feel like you don't want to be seen anymore, just turn around. And so at one point, when he's getting very emotional, he turns away and faces the other side. And of course, Maceo, being a great cinematographer and operator, he tries to get a view of his profile. So he comes around. But Dwayne, at that point, he doesn't want anybody to see his face. So he curls up and covers himself with his muscles and his back. And he's protecting himself and he's not allowing himself to be seen. And all that comes from him asking me that question of, you're not shooting me from in front of me, so I have to show you everything that you're gonna get from behind. And that's awesome.
There is this moment early in the movie when your character says that in some parts of the fights, he feels like an ancient energy that goes into him. So I wanted to ask you if you recall a moment in your own career where you felt this kind of thing, like this kind of energy moving through you instead of feeling that you were in control, like something else is like pushing you.
I love that. Yes. The very first time I walked on set as Mark Kerr to step into the ring. The first couple of weeks when we shot the movie, we started with Emily and myself. So we were at home, domesticated life, arguing, right? It's what couples do. But when I stripped it all away and got in Mark's skin as the fighter, and I stepped into the ring, I went there. And in that moment, and I know it sounds weird, but I went elsewhere. And there's so many instances where I'll watch the movie back and I'll go, I don't remember doing that.
Wow.
It's crazy. And even Emily would say, you don't remember doing that? I was like, I don't remember doing that. But I think that's the power of the set that Benny created. I think it's the power of the prosthetics that helped me go there. And I think it's the power of sometimes there's these, it sounds weird, but it's like there's energy and power and celestial universe stuff that just happens. And now I understand what that's like. And I went elsewhere. And it was an amazing feeling, by the way.
Did you feel uncomfortable? Did you reach that uncomfortability you wanted?
Oh, that's great. Every single day. Every single day. I'll tell you a quick story. Day one, before I stepped on set, because I was shooting with Emily, she pulled me aside, she says, are you scared? Because she knows I was looking to be uncomfortable and to be scared. But as many men don't want to reveal that. So she said, are you scared? And I didn't even think twice. I said, I'm good. And she called me out on my shit. She said, that's not what I asked you. I said, are you scared? And I went, I'm really scared.
Wow.
And she said, it's good. It's a good thing. It's what you wanted. I'm like, yeah, I just didn't want to tell you.
That's really interesting that you mentioned, because actually I think that most of your movies, they walk this line, like really thin line between order and chaos. So as a director, when do you let chaos be a part, like that scene you mentioned of your film? And when do you feel like it's just noise? How do you recognize when it's just noise that you have to silence a little bit?
Well, I think that you can have chaos in small moments. You can have pressure, which is different kind of chaos, And I think it's just a matter of when things get too loud that you can't hear anything, that's when it's just noise. So you need to make sure that you're picking and choosing when they get loud. Specifically in the argument, they could be yelling all the time, but that's not how arguments happen. One person is starting more angry than the other, and they get brought into the argument, and then it switches. There's this flow to it. And so it's just you're just trying to mirror what your own experiences are,
Thank you so much.
All right,
thank you so much
thank
for having me. Great
Pleasure.
meeting you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you. It was a lot of
Great
fun.
meeting you.
Great questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think he wants your autograph.
Sure, no problem. No fighting.